to our webinar. Now we will start the KGAP class Batch6 Canada Challenge hosted by ATL. I'm Makiko from the Business Development Office of ATL. Thank you for joining. Okay, KGAP Plus is a global acceleration program which attracts promising startups from Japan and abroad with the goal of conducting a POC and pilot tests in collaboration with Japanese enterprises. From Batch 1 to 5, 60 startups from 9 countries have participated in the program, and 83% of the startups from Batch up to Batch 4 have been able to implement the POC or enter into a collaboration discussion with the program support. From October, we will hold a 6th selection round where startups will challenge to participate in the upcoming Batch 6. Today, the Canada Challenge is a stage for startups from Canada. In the past, we hosted North America Challenge, but this time we successfully held the Canada Challenge first time with the support of the many Canadian partners. Thank you very much. All right, KGAP Plus global partner that NRC IRAP, which is the National Research Council of Canada, Industrial Research Assistance Program, and also Delegation General of Quebec in Tokyo, and the Alberta, Japan office, and the investor have nominated startups with innovative products and services. These organizations will also give presentation today to introduce us about Canadian ecosystems. This Canada Challenge is co-hosted by NRC IRAP and the Delegation General of Quebec in Tokyo and Alberta, Japan office, and cooperated by Embassy of Canada as well as JETRO, Japan External Trade Organization. We appreciate great support from them. Well, let's get started. First, I'd like to welcome Mr. Nadine Nance, Counselor in Science, Technology, and Innovation from Embassy of Canada. Mr. Nance will address us.
Minasama, ohayou gozaimasu. Good morning, everyone, and good evening to those joining us from Canada. Mesdames et messieurs, bonsoir. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Nadine Nanji, and I'm the counselor responsible for science, technology, and innovation at the Canadian Embassy. Dozo yoroshiku onegai itashimasu. I would like to first extend our sincere appreciation to Dr. Hiroyuki Suzuki and Ms. Makiko Tatsumi of ATR for their ongoing commitment to business and research collaboration between Canada and Japan. I am pleased to join you at today's KGAP Batch 6 Canada Challenge, organized by ATR and co-hosted by NRC IRAP, la Délégation Générale du Québec à Tokyo, and the Alberta, Japan office. I would also like to thank the many distinguished business people representing the innovation sector in the Kansai area for taking the time to be with us today. As the 8 Canadian companies and our provincial colleagues will highlight today, Canada's tech ecosystem is thriving and getting a lot of well-deserved attention. I would like to share with you a few examples of where Canada's innovation ecosystem is particularly dynamic: venture capital, artificial intelligence, and government support for innovation. There has been considerable growth of VC investing in Canada. In fact, the Canadian Venture Capital and Private Equity Association reports $8.3 billion invested over 394 deals in the first half of 2021. And this VC investment has already eclipsed previous years. Almost every week, there is news of another Canadian startup that has raised over 100 million. And Canada is producing unicorns at a faster rate than ever before. 9 new Canadian companies, Clio, Dapper Labs, Galvanize, GeoComply Solutions, Thinkific Labs, ADA, Fair, Essence, and Trulio, to name a few, have achieved unicorn status since the start of 2021 alone. What's even more impressive is the range of industries and technologies these new unicorns cover, from legal tech to blockchain to cybersecurity, ed tech, e-commerce, fashion tech, and AI-powered chatbots. Canada also has undeniable strengths in artificial intelligence and is home to the godfathers of AI, Geoffrey Hinton, Joshua Bengio, and Richard Sutton. Through their expertise and with robust support from government, including the $125 million Pan-Canadian AI strategy, Canada has built world-class AI ecosystems in Toronto, Montreal, and Edmonton. Furthermore, Canada is home to more than 200 accelerators and incubators, as well as a healthy and fast-growing VC network. This ecosystem, complemented by government support through programs such as NRC IRAP, help Canadian entrepreneurs turn their best ideas into startups, accelerating their growth into scale-ups that are transforming industries all over the world. With Canada's maturing tech ecosystem, global firms are investing billions in Canada and include the likes of Google, Amazon, Facebook, Microsoft, Intel, and IBM. And from Japan, Fujitsu, Denso, Square Enix, and Rakuten, just to name a few. While attracting investments to Canada is a key mandate for us, we are just as enthusiastic to facilitate partnerships between Canadian startups and Japanese companies. Just yesterday, the Embassy Trade team hosted a webinar highlighting Canada's leadership in ethical AI, including a fireside chat featuring the latest joint collaboration in explainable AI tech between Yamaha Motor Ventures and Canvas AI. 7 emerging Canadian AI companies showcase their tech to the Japanese market. It is so exciting to see Japanese and Canadian companies coming together to learn more about each other's tech and how best to collaborate going forward. I would like to wish all the Canadian companies pitching today good luck, and I'm sure that we are in for an interesting and informative session. Please enjoy the rest of the program. Gosecho, origato, gozaimashita, merci beaucoup. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Nadine-san. Yeah, we are very glad to cooperate and collaborate with the Embassy of Canada, and we appreciate the great support from you. Yeah, we are pleased to showcase the Canadian ecosystem within this startup technology today. All right. Okay. Let me introduce about our program, KGAP Plus next. Yes. Okay. KGAP Plus stands for KHANA Global Acceleration Program Plus. We provide hands-on support for startups to secure POC and pilot test partners. Two features to emphasize. First, we find the partners with startups nearly oriented. Second, the startups participate in the program through our global partners like the NRC and the province offices in Japan. 3 months program conducted online currently. Criteria are very simple. Startups should have POC level products or services with strong motivation to expand a business into Japan. That's all, very simple. Any sector is fine. In batch 1 to 4, 48 startups participated, and 83% of them succeeded in finding partners or discussing POC, and moreover, some of the companies were able to implement the joint POC with the Japanese enterprises. Let's look at the details. KGAP Plus was launched by ATL 2 years ago in KHANA Science City, one of the 2 science cities in Japan. ATL is a core institute of the Science City, and we are boosting the global innovation ecosystem here. The region, including the KHANA, has been selected by the Japanese Cabinet Office as a global startup city. Yeah, our initiatives are powered by a global collaboration network. We signed MOU with the key innovation organizations in Israel, Barcelona, India, and Canada, and New York. The total number of organizations or persons we have relationship with 619 so far. As for KGAP Plus, we work together with JETRO in Japan and for Canada, National Research Council Canada, and Barcelona Activa in Europe, and Israel Innovation Authority, and for India, CII and NASCOM, and for US, we collaborating with the New York City leading accelerated and entrepreneur roundtable accelerator. Yeah, thanks to this collaboration, 63 companies from 9 countries participated in the KGAP Plus, Batch 1 to 5 in the past 2 years. The majority is, of course, Japanese. 17 startups joined us, but for Canada, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah, 7. Yes, 7 Canadian companies has participated in the program so far, and we are going to select some today. Yeah, KGAP Plus is diverse in the sector also, not only the countries. So far, the foreign sector, participated in the program. You see healthcare, medical, IoT, smart device, yeah, and manufacturing. Yes. Yeah. And also, there are examples of enterprises that collaborated with the startups in POC. You see the big names in Japan, but some companies don't want to disclose their names, so there are more actually. Yeah, 83 of them succeeded in the finding partners in or discussing POC, and moreover, some were able to conduct the joint POC with these companies. Yes, based on these outcomes, we are going to start Batch 6. Here's the process for screening and the selection, local talent. That is the selection round like today. And we kicked off the program November 12th, so soon. And we do the intensive mentoring with each of the startups, and work toward POC or pilot test for 3 months, and we will hold the demo day in the middle of February. And we select some companies to give opportunity to expand the business into the Europe or US, New York, beyond KHANA. We are going to do the hub. So, for example, Canada to Japan, and our program to the Europe. Management team is from ATL. And we have a great network of mentors. So mentors from JETRO and prefecture office or city office, and also industry from industries, of course, and venture capitals. Yeah. The mentors can connect to the startups to the network, and they help us very well. Yeah, here the KGAP Plus supporting organizations. Yes, of course, the embassy is in Tokyo, and the state of government in Japan office have been strong support us, and several Japanese organizations have also sent a mentor to help us. Well, we are boosting a startup ecosystem in Japan through KGAP Plus. So thank you very much for your attention. Yes, that's all for my presentation. Thank you for listening. Okay. All right. Okay, next, we welcome our great partner, NRC IRAP. So Mr. Harvey, he is he is an industry technology advisor of the Industrial Research Assistant Program of National Research Council of Canada. So he's going to introduce the NRC IRAP program. Harvey, are you ready?
Yes. Can you see my screen?
Yes, perfect.
Okay. 皆さんおはようございます。私は NRC のハービー・ラムと申します。NRC はカナダ政府の国立研究機構です。それでは NRC について簡単に説明します。英語で。So I'm part of NRC's IRAP department, which is Canada's largest funding organization for early stage companies. We fund about 3,000 companies every year, which is about $350 million a year. So the key point is we have a very large database of Canadian companies, about 70,000 all through the years since we've established in 1947. We deliver this program through advisors across Canada. There are 250 advisors across Canada. And you can see here, we have in the red squares is our research centers, and the yellow triangles is where our IRAP advisors are located. They're in city centers close to where the companies are located. And we meet the companies, and that's how we fund them. So our budget is about $1 billion and $350 million for IRAP. These yellow triangles, there's 130 locations across Canada. We also have international program, and so you can see here all around the world, we initiate partnerships. And today we're talking about our Japan program, and of course ATR, and we also partner with the Japanese government, such as NEDO, and other partners, such as large Japanese corporations. So our goal is really aligned with ATR. We're here to accelerate open innovation, and that's really for trying to match our startups with some Japanese corporations. So how do we do this? We start with scouting. We can scout for startups, and then we support missions to Japan. And ultimately, our goal is to fund some proof of concept projects. And this really matches with what ATR is doing for us. You know, they do matching, the KGAP program, and mentoring. And the goal is also the same, POCs. So here's how we do this. We work with ATR, and they bring the Japanese companies' needs, and we align these needs with some of our startups. And if there's POC projects, we have funding for that. So here's some past results. We started in 2019, 2 startups, and then in 2020, I started doing it online. There's 3 startups, and then continuing on, 1 in October of last year, and then this summer we had 1 as well. So most of these we have supported projects for, and they have great partnerships. As Maki said, 83% success rate. So here's really the path we're trying to do for our companies. We do scouting for the purpose of identifying R&D projects. And it works well with KGAP because KGAP allows missions and POCs. In the end, we hope we can do large R&D projects with our companies, with large Japanese corporations. So you can contact us. We're also located in Tokyo. Our Tokyo office is headed by Mr. Sasaki-san. He is the former CTO of Fujitsu. We're looking for Japanese corporations interested in open innovation. So you can talk to Sasaki-san if you are interested to connect with Japanese companies and our research centers. So this concludes my presentation. I want to give more time for the startups to pitch. So Maki, back to you.
Thank you very much, Harvey. It's great to know. Your presentation showed our collaboration history very well. Thank you very much. All right, let's move to pitching from startups. Yes, please send a question and a comment into Q&A box window on the Zoom screen. You see the Q&A here. After pitching, startups will answer your question from the Q&A window as well. The first company is Qualtic Technology in the EduTech.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Maggie.
yes, stage is yours.
Yeah, can I share my screen now?
Yes.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. Hi, my name's Ye. I'm the CEO of Qualtic Technology. Edge computing and AI is the logical next step for many different use cases and commercial applications, including education, smart home, service robotics, healthcare, and even elderly care. Our mission at Qualtic is to simplify running AI on the edge so that everyone will be able to learn and build with this incredible technology and have fun while doing it. We assembled a fantastic team to execute on our mission. I have a strong academic background, and my previous startup had a successful exit as well. Jane is the professor and a world-renowned AI researcher, and Michael is an expert in edge computing and has lots of experiences building commercial AI systems. Together, we have the complementary skill sets necessary to realize our vision. In March of this year, Microsoft, Intel, together with OpenCV, organized the largest spatial AI competition in the world. There were more than 1,400 participating teams from both university and industry around the globe. I'm happy to report that our team ended up winning the first place grand prize after 6 months of dedicated work. Our solution to simplify running AI on the edge is actually quite simple itself. We support a wide range of development methodologies ranging from visual programming, local API, all the way to advanced Python API. Anyone can write an AI program in less than 5 minutes. Our edge-based AI solution is the first of its kind to support a large variety of AI modules with pre-trained models. These modules include computer vision, speech recognition, natural language processing, speech generation, motor and sensor control, as well as smart home control. The best part of all this is that everything runs on resource-constrained hardware platforms, such as the Raspberry Pi in real time. Also, if the problem at hand is too complex for a single device, we offer a simple way to distribute AI computations across different devices on the network. All of these features are designed to reduce deployment cost and speed up project delivery time. Running AI on the edge offers several benefits such as speed, security, and scalability over the traditional cloud-based solution. There are crucial elements for many different applications. Here are some potential applications that we have explored. They include education, where you can use the Raspberry Pi to control a Lego robot, fitness, smart home control, automotive, touchless vital monitoring for healthcare, and even fall detection for elderly care. In addition to our solution on the edge, we're also working on a SaaS solution to simplify management of edge devices. Our solution is specifically designed for large education or IoT deployments. We offer a dynamic, customizable dashboard so that our customers can see the state of the entire deployment at a glance. We also have a complete device management interface to allow users to manage the device lifecycle and quickly deploy custom programs and models to run on the device. We're looking for partners that want to deploy AI on the edge to solve their business problems. Through this collaboration, we're hoping to define a generic end-to-end device management and AI deployment workflow that works for a wide range of applications. We currently work very closely with OpenCV, so our partner will be able to engage the community of more than 47,000 developers worldwide through our collaboration. We are a highly skilled and innovative technical team. We're eager to work with a partner in Japan to deploy AI at the edge and solve some challenging problems. So in summary, we hope to become a part of Japan's Industry 4 development through this program. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Yeru. Yeah, Great pitching. All right. The next company, Notion Research in the AI sector. Yeah, Christine, your turn.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Christina, and I'm one of the co-founders and CEO here at Notions Research. As of today, our company actually rebranded from Notions to Lydia AI. Japan is a market I hold really close to heart because my family actually lived in Yokohama, Japan for 3 years before immigrating to Canada when I was 6 years old. So I'm really excited to be here and to share and explore the possibilities of growing in Japan today. We have an amazing team of 48 people behind Lydia AI, ranging from different backgrounds, from machine learning to bioinformatics to insurance executives and actuarial scientists. We're extremely lucky to have had amazing supportive investors, including Alibaba Entrepreneur Fund, fintech venture capital fund, information venture partners, and of course, our own government, Ontario Centre of Innovation. I'm really glad to be representing all of us to see where we can have opportunities to work together. Our mission here at Lydia AI is to ensure the next billion people by helping insurance companies use new sources of alternative data to make more accurate health risk predictions. We have trained our models on global health data to help insurers create insurance products that are easier to buy and more inclusive. Currently, insurance companies use age, gender, and a long list of exclusion criteria to assess risks. We use new data and machine learning in order to help insurance companies enrich their understanding of health and improve risk selections so that products can be easier to buy using digital data and more inclusive to different types of people. Our health AI models are state-of-the-art deep learning models that we're constantly dedicated to improving through academic partnerships and proving its impact in the real world through industry partnerships. As you can see in the slide here, many of our models outperform published academic indicators. Currently, as part of KGAP, we're looking for 2 types of partners. The first type is academic partners. We're interested in conducting joint research on applying AI to anonymize national claims data sets. We previously collaborated with the National Taiwan University, and our work was actually presented in Japan at the Kyoto University AI and Smart Medicine for Digital Health Conference. The second type of partner we're looking for is life and health insurance to help pilot our AI models for accelerated underwriting and new product development. We previously had completed a successful pilot with MetLife Japan as part of their Lumen Labs. I'm looking forward to working with all of you, and thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Yeah, great pitching. And the third company, this fish in the marine tech. Yeah, interesting the name. And yes, your turn. Go ahead.
Thank you. Yeah, my name's Eric Enotam. I'm the co-founder and CEO of This Fish, based here in Vancouver, Canada. So our mission is to drive profitability and sustainability with better data, digital, real-time, and actionable. And we do this by providing software and artificial intelligence to the seafood sector. So seafood is the most globally traded protein on Earth, and Japan is the second largest market after the United States. The industry is massive, global, and complex. Yet the information systems running supply chains is archaic. Most of the data is still trapped on paper. But in such a massive, complex industry, where do you start with digital transformation? There are literally millions of fishing vessels and farms on one side, and then millions of restaurants and retailers on the other. But in the middle, there's actually about 50,000 seafood processors. This is the most critical node in the supply chain because it's the data bottleneck. And in Japan, there's about 8,500 processors. And these companies face challenges that are quite unique to Japan. First, since 2010, the world's per capita consumption of seafood has actually gone up by 27%. But in Japan, it's actually gone down by 35%. Japan is facing both declining consumption and production of seafood. Second is we all know the challenges around the aging population in Japan and worker productivity. from 2008 to 2018, the value of production per employee actually decreased by 5% in marine fisheries in Japan. These challenges have resulted in really low gross margins in the seafood business. In fact, it's about 12% lower than the food sector in general in Japan. So one solution is to use exports to increase the competitiveness of the Japanese seafood industry. There's only one problem. When I should say, Japan is actually uniquely positioned to take advantage of exports because of their stellar reputation for top quality seafood in the world. But there's only one problem. Only about 4% of seafood processors in Japan are certified to export to the United States, and even less are certified for the European Union. So our solution to these challenges is called This Fish Tally, software to enable seafood processors to digitize all their data in real time using tablet computers and IoT devices. Our software reduces labor costs of managing data, enables real-time process control, and strengthens traceability and compliance. We've solved the digitization challenge for seafood processors. And we're now pioneering AI in the seafood industry. We've developed an AI-enabled app, which we call a TallyBot. We can program TallyBot with standard algorithms to automate many tasks in seafood processors, such as quality control checks and alerts. And we can also program it with machine learning algorithms for predictive analytics, like predicting recovery rates and yields in factories. And we embedded TallyBot in the software through the use of colors and actually emotion. We want to communicate to workers on the factory floor that TallyBot is their digital helper, kind of like the R2-D2 of seafood processing. We currently have 15 customers and 5 channel partners. We've really proven that we can scale our technology across a global fragmented market. And we recently participated in the Trade Accelerator program for Japan with the Canadian Embassy. And we were one of the winners of Japan Society 5.0 Challenge put on by JETRO. And this week we're actually exhibiting with JETRO at a technology conference in Japan. I'm also excited to announce that we're very close to signing our very first channel partnership with Izo Kitchen, a technology and food company based in Hokkaido. And what we're looking for with the accelerator are channel partners, proof of concept or pilot projects, and also investors. And I'd like to share this image from the 1930s of the village that I actually grew up on in Canada. In the 1930s, over half of the village was Japanese. Japanese Canadians have had a huge impact and influence over Canada's Pacific fisheries. In fact, this is a painting of my father's fishing vessel, which was actually built by Japanese boat builders in Vancouver in the 1950s. And I'm just sharing this to you so you can understand that I really appreciate and understand how important seafood is to the identity and culture of Japan, as it has been for my family. So we share a common future, and now I'd like to, or we share a common past, and now I'd like to share a common future for sustainable seafood. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So very interesting presentation. Yeah, great. Thank you very much. Well, take a break for pitching. Next, we would like to welcome the Mr. Raymond Mack from Quebec. He's the Director of Economic Affairs in the Delegation General of Quebec in Tokyo. Raymond, thank you for joining today.
Yes.
Would you please introduce your ecosystem to our network?
Yes, I'll just share my screen just a minute.
Yes.
Up. You see my presentation?
Yeah, beautiful.
Great. Donc, bonjour tout le monde. Bonjour à mes 3 collègues du Québec. So I was just saying hi to my 3 friends from Quebec who are presenting today. I'm Raymond Mark, Director of Economic Affairs at the Quebec Government Office in Tokyo. Happy to be here. Thank you very much, ATR, for inviting us again. First of all, just a minute. Quick introduction. Quebec office in Japan has been here for 50 years. We're 14 employees and we cover all sectors to develop a relation between Quebec and Japan. For the economic sector, we're mostly active in aerospace, ICT, agri-food, and wood products, but we also develop other sectors like culture, innovation, attracting Japanese companies to Quebec, and of course, public affairs, government relations. For those who don't know, some Japanese people don't know, Quebec is a province in Eastern Canada.
Raymond,
Yes.
sorry to disturb you, but maybe your slide, we see your slide, part of it, your
really?
slide.
Wait. Let me start again. Is that better?
Yes, that is perfect. I think I'm sorry, I should say the before.
Okay, no problem. It's just a third slide. So anyway, just continuing. So Quebec, Eastern province of Canada, we're located near the biggest cities in the United States, like New York, Philadelphia, Chicago, Washington. And what's interesting is that Quebec, located at the eastern side of Canada, is like a bridge, between the two largest markets in the world, United States and Europe. Not only geographically, but Quebec, as you know, a French-speaking province, on parle français. We're a cultural link also between the US and Japan. So any Japanese company who are established in Quebec, you have very, very easy access to 700 million consumers in US and Europe. But another very important characteristics for Quebec, we are a fertile ground for innovation and R&D. We are first in Canada for R&D investment, almost $10 billion spent in the last years. More than 1,400 research organizations, and 3 of Quebec's universities are in the top 10 research universities of Canada. And as you can see on my slide, all the very famous companies in the world have established research offices in Quebec: Google, Facebook, Huawei, Microsoft, etc., because there is a vast cluster of research talent here. And when you have this vast, base of researchers, and you add a little bit of money, you add venture capital, you add government finance funds and bank funds, you get a very dynamic and booming startup ecosystem. Quebec's startup ecosystem, of course, like anywhere in the world, mainly based in large cities, Montreal mainly, but also Quebec City. In the province, we have all over 100 incubators and co-working spaces. And as you might know, Canada was named one of the most attractive countries in the world for entrepreneurs, according to OECD. We have also programs, Quebec has established Startup Quebec. It's a program to help incubators and accelerators and all this booming startup ecosystem in Quebec. And the main sectors that our startups are active in are the very famous sectors right now, like AI, quantum computing, life science, fintech, etc. But for me, I think 2 of those sectors are particularly interesting for relations between Quebec and Japan. First one, AI, of course. In the last 5 years, Quebec has become one of the world's best AI hubs in the world, and mainly because of this man, Dr. Yoshua Bengio. So Nanji, when he introduced Canada, talked about him. So Yoshua Bengio, he's a recipient of the Turing Award. For those who don't know, Turing Award is like the Nobel Prize of computer science. He is founder and the head of the world famous research institute called MILA, so Montreal Institute for Learning Algorithm. And as Nanji said earlier, so he is one of the godfathers of AI, so the creator of deep learning, together with Dr. Yann LeCun, who is now at Facebook, and Jeffrey Hinton, who is now at Google. And the little story behind this is that Dr. Benjo, of course, he was also offered very interesting position in private companies, but he said no, because he considered that between the three godfathers, at least one must stay for a public interest and help to push the limits of AI deep learning research. So because Dr. Benjo stayed in Montreal, a lot of government decided to fund this new scientific research to build an AI cluster in Montreal. So almost 1 billion of funding from different programs are available in Quebec. And because you have funding and you have the godfather of AI in Montreal, well, a lot of very famous researchers around the world, from France, from US, from Japan, from China, came to Mila to work with Dr. Benjo, because AI research is a little bit like karate. When you're very good at the top level of karate, you're not doing it for fame or fortune. You want to work with the best to push the limit of your discipline. So a lot of those research came to those famous researchers came to Montreal, and because you have this cluster of very, very high level famous researchers in Montreal, well, this attracts famous companies. So as you can see in the timeline, in the last 5 years, all the most famous companies in the world, Google, Facebook, IBM, Huawei, Samsung, Denso, etc., all came to Montreal and opened AI deep learning research labs here. And because you have those big companies, you have researchers, you have funds, you have the godfather, you also have very, very innovative AI companies. So just to name a few, Imagia, so a Quebec company who makes AI for healthcare, Wrench, AI for video, Algolux, AI for camera, Lander, AI for music, and then you Automat, AI for chat, and any kind, of sector that you can think of. You can find a startup who makes a special application to improve the business. And of course, we have very successful AI companies like Hopper, who raised 100 million in 2018. But lately, I think 3 months ago, it was announced they had another round of financing of 175 million, I think, one of the biggest in Canada's history. And Nubo was sold to Aspen for 79 million, Strategy AI, Dialogue, and the Caisse de dépôt et de placement. This is the Quebec Public Pension Fund. They created a $250 million fund solely dedicated to AI startups. So very, very dynamic sector in Quebec for AI. And similarly, we have another, it's just beginning, but I think it's booming. And it's a sector, I think there's a lot of potential for collaboration between Japan and Quebec. It's a quantum technology. And similar to AI, we have a godfather too in quantum technology, Dr. Gilles Brassard. If you have time, just Google him. He is the godfather of quantum cryptography, very famous around the world. And together with Dr. Blais, Crépeau, Godbout, Taillefer, we have world-class researchers. And with world-class researchers, if you have funding, you have good infrastructure, you have all the necessary elements to create a, booming innovation cluster. And with this, we can find around 60 Quebec companies who are either working directly into quantum technology or supporting the development of quantum technology. So to conclude, so Quebec, this Eastern French province in Canada, has a dynamic research and innovation sectors. And we think there's a lot of opportunities for collaboration between Quebec and Japan, especially in AI and quantum technology, because we know AI and quantum are in the last Japan strategy, research and science strategy. So I hope we can develop always more and more collaboration with Japan. Thank you very much. Arigatou gozaimasu.
ありがとうございます。Thank you very much. Merci beaucoup, Raymond. Yeah, very nice to know the Montreal is the Quebec is the deep tech capital in the world. Great, thank you very much. Okay, next, let's learn about Alberta. How different from Quebec, maybe? Yeah, the presenter is Mr. Mikhail Couch, Senior Investment Advisor of Japan, Alberta Investment Corporation. So,
Thank you very much.
Michael.
Thanks very much, Makiko-san. Great presentation, Mark, and really great pitches so far. So very exciting program. Just want to say good morning to everyone. And on behalf of Alberta, I would like to sincerely thank you all for being here today, and to our gracious hosts, Advanced Telecommunications Research Institute International, ATR, with support from the Embassy of Canada to Japan and the National Research Council of Canada's Industrial Research Assistance Program, NRC-IRAP, for this incredible platform to highlight Alberta and our abundant investment opportunities and advantages. Also, special congratulations and good luck to all the candidates who have been selected to compete in today's KHANA Global Acceleration Program Plus Canada Challenge, including Duraflex Solutions from Alberta, Canada. Let me begin by introducing the Invest Alberta Corporation, which is our province's first ever crown corporation dedicated to attracting foreign direct investment into major projects in Alberta. Invest Alberta was designed with a global investor in mind, focused on providing high-end tailored concierge services. With our team back home in Alberta, we work with stakeholders across the province to identify top-tier investment opportunities that are poised to promote to the global investment community. We also help investors and startups like yourselves navigate Alberta's investment ecosystem, including government and regulatory authorities, identifying funding programs and incentives, and availing of tax advantages to make sure that the opportunities in Alberta meet the needs of our clients and are globally competitive. We offer a one-stop shop, again, so investors can focus on the opportunities they're looking for and cut through red tape so you don't have to. Alberta is internationally connected and very export-oriented. We have the most public infrastructure per capita in Canada, and we're very well positioned between Western and Eastern Canada with great access to major US markets as well. Through this snapshot of our local economics, you can see we also have some of the most competitive wages and salaries across Canada, as well as personal income per capita. In fact, we also have one of the largest disposable incomes across the country, so there's a lot of opportunity not only on the investment side, but also in terms of the quality of life for your workers and sales because of that disposable income. In addition, we have by far the greatest tax advantage in all of Canada. Not only do we have the lowest taxes in Canada, we are competitive across all of North America. Specifically, we have the lowest corporate tax rate at 8%, no payroll taxes, sales taxes, or capital taxes. A quick overview of some of the strategic sectors that drive our economy. Alberta is blessed with an abundance of natural resources, well known in Japan for our agricultural exports. But more than that, we pride ourselves on innovation in areas such as biofuels and waste management, value-added processing, and more recently with a strong focus on plant proteins and other agriculture technology. In terms of aviation and logistics, we're working with some of the world's most recognizable aerospace and defense contractors like Lockheed Martin, Peraton, and Raytheon, and manufacturers like Pratt & Whitney and Viking Air. We're also home to WestJet, one of Canada's major airlines, and Flair Airlines, which was recently launched out of Edmonton International Airport as Alberta's new low-cost carrier. We also have one of only 2 unmanned aircraft systems test sites in Canada and a huge unmanned systems drones sector. In fact, we're home to a third of all of Canada's drone companies. You may also know that Alberta is the world's 3rd largest producer of oil and gas, but as with our agriculture sector, we are much more than just that one part of the energy mix. Over the last decade and beyond, we have diversified our energy portfolio along the full value chain to include petrochemicals, and more recently with a focus on hydrogen. In fact, because of our abundance in natural gas, we have great access to highly cost-competitive blue hydrogen, and this is why Alberta is quickly becoming Canada's hydrogen hub. A couple recent major developments that might be of interest: in August, Itochu and Malaysia-based Petronas announced this partnership on a US $1.3 billion hydrogen liquefaction plant set to be constructed in Edmonton in 2026. And just last month, Mitsubishi and Shell signed another agreement to produce low carbon hydrogen through carbon capture and storage near Edmonton as well. There's lots going on in our finance sector as well. So a lot of opportunities around fintech and blockchain and also tourism. And we're also very focused on diversifying our data and technology sector and have strong advantages in artificial intelligence and machine learning, largely driven by the Alberta Machine Intelligence Institute, AMI. These factors, coupled with our leadership's focus on cutting red tape and increasing the ease of doing business, are why we've been able to consistently attract major multinational energy companies, as well as head offices for some of the largest architecture, engineering, and construction firms, as you see listed here, including major companies like Google's DeepMind, which actually chose Alberta as its only office outside the United Kingdom. This may also be in part due to our competitively lower land rent and construction costs, as well as our abundance of skilled and qualified local talent, especially in the AI/ML space. In fact, we actually also have a godfather in Alberta who's really focused on reinforcement learning, Dr. Richard Sutton, which you heard referenced earlier in the talk as well. So let me talk a little bit more about this point and Alberta's tech ecosystem. With over 3,000 companies and 170,000 employees, up 150% since 2018 alone, we are really focused on highlighting this space to international startups and venture capitalists to come be part of the energy in Alberta. As you can see, 58% of Alberta's tech companies call Calgary home, with the highest concentration of high-tech workers in Canada. Again, we're so thrilled to have one of our companies, Duraflex Solutions, representing Alberta here today. Our capital city, Edmonton, is also renowned for its strengths in AI/ML, and the University of Alberta is globally recognized as third in the world for AI research, most notably in reinforcement learning, like I just mentioned. I think we may be running a little short on time, so I won't spend too much on this slide, but here's just a quick snapshot of some of the most recognizable startups coming out of Alberta in the last few years, 40% of which have earned greater than $1 million in revenue, and 4 of whom have achieved unicorn status. And this is just the beginning. Last year was also a record-breaking year for investment in Alberta, despite challenges due to the pandemic, with $455 million in venture capitalist funding and the second most VC firms in Canada, and over $2.3 billion in private equity investment. There's been many exciting announcements this year as well, including the Alberta Enterprise Corporation's direct investment into Yaletown Partners Innovation Growth Fund to help Alberta's industry-focused software, data, and device technology companies grow beyond early stage, targeting $200 million to close the scale-up capital gap for Canadian startups. To make it even easier for startups not only to succeed but thrive in Alberta, we have also just recently launched our newest platform, Start Alberta, a one-stop platform for investors, entrepreneurs, and startups, highlighting investor content, press releases, investment deals, and events, promoting the Alberta ecosystem locally and beyond. As you can see, lots of exciting opportunities happening in Alberta, and we look forward to continuing the great collaboration with Japanese investors and innovators like those in the room today. Thank you so much for your time, and please don't hesitate to reach out to our team should you have any questions or wish to learn more.
Thank you very much, Michael. It's great to know the Alberta had the great resources and the potential. Very much. Thank you very much. We are happy to showcase the startups from Quebec and Alberta here. Okay, the first, go back to pitching from startups. The first startup is Karogi Solution in the energy sector.
Yes, hi, hello everyone. This is Mahmoud Shirazi. I'm co-founder and CEO of KGAP Solutions. Perfect. So first of all, I'm happy to be here. We are not an AI company, just to let you know. We are your classic brick and mortar manufacturing company. And I think it's different compared with all the other companies that we have seen up to now. So we are a fast-growing startup, award-winning also, and we have developed a new technology for battery thermal management in electric vehicles. So a few words about us. We have been active since 2020, so very young company. We have a few patents, as you can see, a team of 12, and we are growing fast. And we have raised up to $1.5 million up to now, and we are doing another round of a few more $1 million in the next 2 months. What we do is that we offer a novel battery thermal management for electric transport and stationary battery storage systems. We have been among the top 5 finalists in the competition held by the Canadian government called Charging the Future for the new technologies in the battery field. We have a few vehicles, test vehicles currently equipped with our technology on the road. We are working with the big names, CAE for aerospace battery thermal management, Corvus, which is the biggest battery manufacturer for the marine applications. And we have a lot of more names in our list of clients and collaborators. So this is our solution. What we have developed is these thin sheets here that you can see, and we like to call them thermal ground plane or TGP. So they are metallic thin sheets with a very high thermal conductivity, so 10 times more than copper, very thin, 1 to 2.5 millimeter. They are made mostly out of aluminum and just a small amount of copper. The way they work is based on the liquid vapor phase change. So it's not a material, basically. It's the basic concept of the heat pipe that has been used for many, many years. There is a video on the Vimo. If you search for KGAP solutions, you can see that video and you can see how our technology works. So the benefits are, first of all, for very high temperature uniformity and efficient cooling or heating. In terms of safety, that's an aspect that's very interesting for aerospace and marine applications. You can make completely sealed battery packs using this technology, and also it can help in the fire propagation. In case of a thermal runaway, it can limit the fire propagation. In terms of integration, it's thin and lightweight, and it enables swappable modular design. What we have done, which is different, is our patent pending fabrication method that is adapted for a battery application. So it's low cost, it's high throughput, and it allows to make a flexible form factor. So these are the value propositions for a potential user of this technology. As I said, for safety, we can help making these sealed battery packs in case of thermal runaway. In winter conditions, it can potentially add 20% to driving range. We have tested this in a vehicle this winter in Quebec. As you know, we have very harsh winters in Quebec, so heating is a very important aspect. In terms of price, it can lead to some cost reduction because it increases the lifetime, battery pack lifetime. And it enables a fast charging for different applications. So what we are looking for, basically, we are looking to work with Japanese companies who are either electric vehicle manufacturers who design and make their own battery pack, or the battery pack manufacturers who make battery packs for the other users. So we would love to work with you. For us, it's a complete new experience. As you saw, we are a very young company. We're just growing in Canada and the US slowly. So a chance to work with a Japanese company is amazing for us. We can work with you to integrate our TGPs in your battery pack, and we can test the performance based on your needs. What we have seen, which is very interesting probably for you, is that using these TGPs with air cooling systems, we have seen even better performance compared with a classic liquid cooling system with cold plates, which is, in terms of the cost reduction, is huge. You get the same performance, but you have a product that is much cheaper. Thank you very much. Thanks for your attention. Feel free to contact me. Here is my email, or just send an email directly to info@kalogisolutions.com, and I'll be happy to work with you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Great performance. Okay. The next startup, so from Quebec, AI battery boost in the again energy sector. Yeah. Who is present? Yeah, Victor, your turn. Yes, Victor, please start a show, slideshow, please. try to share your pitch deck. Victor, you are muted.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, thank you. One
Yeah,
second.
yes, take your time.
Okay, can you see my screen?
Yeah, perfect. Go ahead.
All right. So, good morning, all of you. Today I'll start with a fact, which I hope very few people know here. In 2010, US Air Force cobbled together 1,760 PlayStations and created a 500 teraflops of supercomputing cluster at 1/10 the cost of a traditional supercomputer. With Q-Blocks, our mission is to achieve this at scale and democratize supercomputing. Backed by Techstars, a global startup incubator, we are a small group of scientists, engineers, and brothers. Gaurav is an AI expert, and he has spent years of training and building computer vision models using expensive computing clusters. And I was a particle physicist with work experience at CERN and later on at Atomic Energy Commission, where I worked on a project in collaboration with Japan called as T2K, from Tokai to Kamioka. With this, let's understand the real problem here. This is Fugaku, and it is world's biggest supercomputer built in Japan with a total cost of $1 billion and can deliver 1 exaflops of computing power. But can you really use it? Can you really access it? And by you, I mean scientists, artists, engineers, and of course, crazy innovators. So here's the problem. Millions of scientists, engineers, artists, designers, and even businesses today in all these domains cannot access a supercomputer, from data science to 3D movies, from climate modeling and genomics to financial fraud detection. Why? Because other than being super expensive, it's also extremely difficult to use a supercomputer, and there are multiple bottlenecks, starting from geographical limits to maintenance difficulties and many other problems, which today restricts a lot of these people from accessing a supercomputer. And thus the playground is not even for all. It's a $30 billion problem, but it doesn't have to be this way. During my research days at CERN, I stumbled upon a fascinating project called as LHC at Home, where CERN asked people from all over the world to donate computing power from their laptops when it's idle. And within a few months, 100,000 laptops were delivering 44 petaflops of computing power to CERN. And it is just one of the small projects. With Folding at Home, they broke all the records. Last year, they crossed 1 exaflops of computing power, and they expanded the supply from laptops to PlayStations and crypto mining rigs also. With 200 plus similar projects and billions of dollars saved using this powerful technology and 2 decades of validation coming from scientific domain, we are at a tipping point before it reaches the mainstream, but it is still designed and restricted to the scientific world. What if we could bring this access of infinite computing power to the next Einstein, Dali, and Musk? Introducing Q-Blocks. We are a decentralized supercomputing platform designed to extract computing power from millions of crypto mining rigs, gaming units, and PlayStations, and to deliver it to scientists, engineers, and designers in a secure, isolated, and highly reliable manner at the click of a button. Using our proprietary software stack that includes computing grade, a networking layer, an orchestration engine, and finally an application layer. Our users get affordability, latest systems, and ease of use. They can quickly launch an instance in under a minute as compared to spending hours in setting up these things. So how does this work? On one side, we have computing power coming from crypto miners, tier 2, tier 3 data centers, and gamers all over the world who rent out their machines to the Q-Blocks computing grid. And on this side, we have researchers, scientists, and engineers who can get this computing power at fraction of a cost in a secure manner. Our host download an app which extracts computing power on demand basis. And on this side, our users rent out powerful computing instances that are 100 times faster than regular CPU instances. And being a startup, we wanted to be really focused, and we started with one use case out of thousands of them. We focused on data science, and in data science, we have machine learning, deep learning, and big data analysis, and we have designed our system for these kind of users. But does this really work? I'm proud to share this, that India's biggest healthcare platform, PharmEasy, a US-based AI-driven voice cloning company, Respeecher, and a fashion e-commerce giant owned by Reliance, have collectively saved over $500,000 by choosing Q-Blocks in under 6 months. And we have just, with 300,000 of computing hours and $100,000 of revenue, we are just getting started. And in the future, we want to expand our supply as we evolve. Today, we have 2 layers of supply coming from crypto miners and gamers, idle data centers, to very soon we would be adding up PlayStations, and eventually the biggest goal is to get smartphones. There are billions of smartphones, and they're incredibly smart. They're actually, they have more computing power than the supercomputer which landed humans on the moon, but they're sitting idle. When you sleep at night, for those 8 to 10 hours, those could be utilized for scientific research as well as enterprises, as we have just proven. To summarize, we want to move the world from a centralized, expensive, difficult to use and difficult to maintain supercomputer to a future which is truly democratized, built on decentralized protocols, highly affordable, super easy, on-demand basis, and it can work at the click of a button. Q-Block's mission is to achieve this at scale for the next generation of underserved scientists, engineers, and designers. We invite you all on this mission and incredible journey ahead to reach our North Star, where we can deliver a 1 petaflop supercomputer for the cost of a cup of coffee. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Saurabh. Okay, would you please finish your screen sharing? The question to you will be sent to Q&A box. Please answer it there by in text later. All right, to audience, sorry for the accent. The order is changed suddenly. Anyway, yeah. We follow the order from now on again. Yes, AI battery boost from Quebec. Victor, your turn.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Victor Sankowski. I'm the founder of the AI Battery Boost, which is a company that addresses a number of fundamental problems of energy storage in batteries. We know that the amount of energy is very limited. The charging rate is a strong limit, and the active life of the battery is a significant drag on price. Our technology is a proprietary technologies that addresses the issues at their root, lowers the resistance of a battery, thereby decreasing the resistance in electrical terms, decreasing the losses, and increasing the energy of the battery which is available at the terminals. That leads to a faster charging and also to increased conductivity in situations of low temperature. The technology is implemented via an electronic circuit, which does not require changes in the construction or the chemistry of the battery. It can be updated as the battery life evolves and can be applied to different batteries, chemistry, and sizes. The technology is also compatible with wireless charging. The proof of concept data show that we get, for different chemistries, different improvements. For lithium-ion batteries, we got up to 25% more energy from a charge, which is current data. It can be improved. For nickel metal hydride, we got 45% more energy from a charge. And this is also before much optimization. The technology can be retrofitted. It's a significant market in the automotive industry, in the large scale and grid level storage batteries, and also aerospace and defense. And we are looking forward to cooperating with Japanese automotive companies primarily, and in terms of developing to the technology to the level that it can be implemented in their cars, and it can be implemented beyond that level at world scale. We dream big. And thank you very much for your attention.
Okay, thank you very much, Victor. Yes. Yeah. Would you please finish your screen sharing? Yeah, Victor, please finish screen sharing. Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, next presenter is from Dice Design. Yeah, again from Quebec. 3D printing. Yes.
Okay, so hi everyone, ohayo gozaimasu. So I am Jean-Sébastien Carrier, CEO and co-founder at Dice Design, a company from Montreal that designs, manufactures, and sells extrusion system for 3D printer. Now, I realized that extrusion system might be very abstract. So our product helped turn this into this. So from a team of 4 co-founders, when we started the company in 2015, we're now 25 people. We started generating revenue 6 months after our funding, so our company has always been cash flow positive. This has not stopped us from raising $4 million so far in order to grow faster. We also had a 70% year-on-year growth in the past 3 years. Our products are now sold in over 25 countries and are used in multiple industries, such as transportation, medical, and manufacturing industries. Some of our customers include Nike, General Motors, the Government of Canada, and many, many more. When it comes to Japan, we can count on a burgeoning partnership with Mitsubishi Chemicals that's working on polymer formulation for the medical industry, optimized for products, as well as G-Techno that's distributing our products on the Japanese market. So regarding our products, the extrusion system is a very technical component in every printer that operates under the material extrusion family. It's a part of the printer that brings in the raw material, melts it, and deposits it through a nozzle. We do not make 3D printer ourselves, but we sell that critical part to printer manufacturers around the world. In short, we're the Intel inside of 3D printers. So we developed 3 different offerings of extrusion system. The Pro series for a desktop printer with a deposition rate of 100 grams per hour. The Typhoon, an industrial solution with a deposition rate of 1 kilogram per hour, often used for parts around half a cubic meter. And finally, the Pulsar, a pellet extrusion system with a deposition rate of 2.5 kilogram and perfect for parts around a cubic meter and more. So Dice Design has a very unique offering. It's one of the few third-party OEM that makes these extrusion systems, and we're the only one that specializes in industrial system. For a customer, choosing our products mean better manufacturing time, thus shorter lead time, which also translates to reduced cost per part, as any printer can now manufacture more parts. Our industrial design are compatible with any polymer on the market, enabling the use of engineering-grade materials such as PEEK and ULTEM. And finally, our products last longer with minimal maintenance and less downtime. And to better understand how that helps businesses, I like to quote Mike Gorski, one of our customers that make prosthetics for war veterans in the US. So his quote, on a normal FDM printer, this is a 34-hour print, but with the Typhoon, we can print this on a high flow in 35 minutes. So turning a 34 print job into a 45 minutes one save on average $12,000 per prosthesis, just because the patient doesn't need to stay at the hospital over multiple days. And that's the kind of use case our products are making possible for many customers in the industries worldwide. So I'm here today because I want to grow our company, and Japan, with its world-class manufacturing industry and its leaning for automation, I think it's a good fit for us. But I am still young and I have much to learn, and I am a Canadian at heart. That is to say, I know very little of Japanese culture, your way of doing business, or even how to get started. A mentor would be much welcome, and even better if they can help us make meaningful connection. From a business perspective, I'm hoping we can strike a deal with a 3D printer robotic arm manufacturer in the long term. And as for growing our business, we'll have to raise money again in the future. So introduction to potential investor will also be welcome. So again, my name is Jean-Sébastien from Dice Design. We make extrusion systems that push the boundaries of additive manufacturing to make it viable for industrial application. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dice Design. Yes, great pitching. Okay, yes. Yeah, the last startup. Yeah, Duralex Solution from Alberta. Yeah, James, it's your turn. You are muted. Oh, we cannot hear you well. Unmute it, please. Yes.
There we go. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You're from a construction sector.
Yeah. Do you see the slideshow?
No, yet.
Pardon me?
We cannot use slide yet.
Okay. Hang on. Sorry.
No problem. Take your time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Share screen.
Yeah. Duraflex develops a cement admixture. Interesting.
There you go.
Yeah, it's coming. Slideshow, please. Yes. Oh, not yet.
I'm trying. Well, do you want me just to start with this?
Yes.
Well, welcome everyone to Low Tech. My name is Jim Jaworski. I've been working in the soil stabilization industry for roughly 30 years. And I took the period when COVID happened to redefine and remake our products. So who we are. Duraflex is a Canadian company based in Calgary, Alberta, with a blending facility in Leduc. We produce, own, and distribute Duraflex. It's a cement admixture that changes the way cement hydrates. We use it in soil and also in concrete, with cement in concrete and for cement stabilization in soil. Our product's patent pending. It's totally natural, naturally occurring mineralization, and we developed it to be totally free of chlorides. We created Duraflex to change heavy civil construction, to make it more cost-effective, respectful to the environment, and to be what we consider to be a best-case solution to change the way engineers think about some of the formation and infrastructure. Duraflex could be viewed as a disruptive technology in the construction business. Certain senior civil engineers have told me that they consider this to be a legacy product and a legacy contribution to the construction industry. Our goal is to provide an environmentally best case solution that is cost effective. We work with public and private sectors to minimize expense, improve logistics and time, as well as conserving valuable and limited natural resources. Our cost savings and improvement to quality, our best case solution can save a minimum of 30% on most civil infrastructure projects and roughly 10% on structural applications. We provide a better, more effective solution than conventional means and have the engineering to substantiate our claim. This is a picture on the left here of the powder. It's an alkaline mineralization, a combination of 10 to 15 proprietary elements. We also have a self-healing feature in concrete for microcracking. We engage with nationally accredited academic institutions, engineering schools, government design and engineering departments to ensure that we're not only meet but exceed design requirements for public and private projects. We actively encourage and support engagement with our research group as well as our engineering staff to promote knowledge transfer, especially in LVCs. I experienced this firsthand in a lot of countries that I'd worked in. I'd be brought in as the resident expat expert, get on a plane, go to a job site, solve their problem, get back on the plane and leave. And everyone kind of would look at the solution and wonder what just happened. So we've made a commitment now to engaging with the community, with the engineering community in particular, and the academic community. Why we do it. It's profitable. It gives us an ability to provide service. We benefit the industry and the community as a whole. We're able to take ordinary soil, regardless of composition, and turn it into a valuable construction material. In the picture on the left here, you'll see the nodules down on the bottom in this area here. That's what regular cement looks like when it's curing. It's the binding and composition of chemicals called clinker. Up on top is where we create, or what our product does is it changes it to crystalline structures, which causes the product or the clinker to knit together, making it totally impermeable. And also it takes particles in the clay and is able to turn them into cementitious material. We combat resource depletion. It is unnecessary to exploit ecosystems such as riverbeds, and we make a significant contribution to climate change. Benefits are higher load-bearing capacity, impermeable to water, combines 3 layers, base, subbase, and subgrade, and cures without carbon gas release. Our proposals are collaboration with nationally accredited engineering schools and the Japanese construction industry. We would like to get an exclusive distribution agreement arrangement with a national contractor that has design, engineering, and heavy civil background, preferably one that has relationships in the NGO network and potential partnership and investment in a manufacturing blending facility. In conclusion, Duraflex is designed to reduce costs, save time, save resource base, prevent carbon dioxide release. It's a best case scenario. It's patent pending, and we've got a commitment to blend in Asia. This year, we will exit with roughly 3.5 million in revenue. And we think that we can ambitiously double, maybe even triple that next year as more infrastructure projects come on. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, James. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, would you please finish screen sharing? Yes, thank you very much. Yeah. Well, the program came to the end. We hope you enjoy it. Yeah. If there is a startups you are interested in or you have commented them, please send your message to us. We will forward your message to the startups and also our partners. Yeah, you will find our email address once you finish the Zoom window. Yeah, our email address is shown. Yeah. Please don't miss our upcoming selection round. The remaining round are only two. Next week, October 28th, so we will be hosting Europe Challenge. And on November 1st, the Israel Challenge. Yeah, Batch 6 is coming soon, but the Batch 5 startups will be graduating KGAP Plus program. We will be hosting the demo day for Batch 5 on November 12th, and our 15 companies will present what they have achieved and they learned. Please register at the demo day also. Yeah, well, thank you very much for joining us today. Yeah, thank you. See you again soon. Yeah, goodbye to everyone.
Thank you. Bye.